A pleasure to me all at last, and here we are once again with more HJN Season 5. And you might recall when I talked a bit about pet animals, ranging from frogs, toads, dogs, cats, fish, tarantulas, etc. I feel like that starting from today up until maybe 20 episodes, yeah. It doesn't always come off as a pre-planned thing when it comes to making HJN content. There's times in which that I'll organize content made specifically to cater towards various requests that people have made over the years, or there might come times where I might throw in a few things of my own, whether suddenly or it does happen whenever I have it pre-written here on my schedule. So I feel like what I'm going to do here is spend about 20 days worth of my time talking about other animals. And so I feel like it might be a good way to pass the time. Also, since there hasn't been much requests that I need to do here, it might be a good chance for me to talk a bit about animals that are outside of the normal range of pets. Yeah, because some people do, believe it or not, keep them around, not just as members of a historical society or zoological exhibits, but some do have them as pets. For the first instance, number 2780, we'll go on ahead and talk about the opossum. Yeah, so whether they're known as the opossum, or some people I know would remove the O from it and just call it possum, whatever the case may be, some people tend to think of me as some sort of opossum on two legs. Yeah, I don't know where that whole idea originally came from or why people think of that, but either way, I took that insult back in the days of when I went to school, as well as part-time job before I got a full-time job, and of course a nice big share of both diploma and degree to go along with it. So you could say that the opossum could potentially turn out to be Kaiju Force Neo's own mascot. Yeah, I feel like that's an idea that's been up in the air for a while, because a company mascot could be an ordinance. Anyways though, as you probably know by now, the opossum is known as the only marsupial to ever exist in North America, whereas Central and South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Oceania, Australia, or elsewhere are not known to have this. So it's a pretty unique thing that you tend to find around here. But the thing is that, like other marsupials that are usually found elsewhere, kangaroos, bandicoots, etc., the opossum is not necessarily known for jumping, although it could jump. It's a bit of a rare opportunity. But what these guys are known for are a combination of having long faces, scaly tails, akin to that of a mouse or rat, as they are similar in shape and texture. And they also are, believe it or not, one of the only animals known to have somewhat humanoid looking hands and feet. Yeah, it's kind of a rare opportunity to have an animal way outside of the primate range in the animal kingdom to have identical looking limbs that a human would normally have. On top of that, they're nocturnal beings. So this kind of builds up even more connections to me overall, as I myself am known to be semi-nocturnal for the most part. Yeah, when it comes to what my actual normal income job is like, I typically do have to sleep well through the afternoon and evening, wake up as early as midnight just to go out and do my normal work. So essentially, apart from what I do on YouTube, apart from what I do with everything else I've been known for, well, a lot of my normal income does happen mostly during the wee hours of each morning, as most might call it third shift. But I always recognize it as first shift because they are the first hours of the day. Anyways though, while opossums are known to be nocturnal marsupials, in terms of what their diet is like, they have been known to be similar in a way to certain other animals like raccoons and skunks, as they are known for certain insect, rodents, fellow pests, and they also can be found in a variety of different placements, usually out in the wilderness. rural areas or wild areas with some thick, dense foliage, wooded areas, and some near human climate areas as well. So you could say that there's a broad range of places that you could find the opossum, but overall, the opossum is very well known not only as a unique wild animal that anybody can encounter, but many people tend to find the opossum as, believe it or not, a somewhat unlikely pet, as there are a lot of videos out there, and a lot of pictures of them too, that can sometimes indicate that they might be necessary as a means of study for the most part. While some opossums are kept around in captivity, whether in zoos or societies, or even in private residences, as again, there's quite a history of that sort of thing. It's not overly recommended for opossums to be kept around as pets because, like most creatures out there, even ourselves, they tend to carry certain diseases. The opossum does have some sharp teeth, can exude quite a lot of them whenever they open their mouths. They're also known for playing dead. That's another one of the biggest quirks that they're regarded for. Typically, whenever they're threatened, you'd think that they run away or defend themselves, but no, they actually go in and play dead. Now, I'm certainly not known for playing dead whenever somebody threatens me, but of course, it could prove to be a useful tactic. If only people weren't so smart nowadays. Oh boy, I'm sure it would have been a lot simpler for me to just lie down for like 10 seconds until they leave me alone. Either way you look at it though, what we're looking at here is one unique creature. One that does come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. And of course, we know that if we happen to find a mother with a bunch of babies rotting on her back, that's also a pretty unique little sign. And it's always beautiful to see her carry around all of her children and do all the hard work so that they don't have to pick themselves up, at least for a while. They do gotta be properly nurtured and kept far away from the reach of predators at all costs. But then of course, there comes the time in which that most of us will understand that they are not exactly meant to harm us in any way. While again, they are known for carrying some diseases, especially in their saliva. It's important to note that some opossums are not necessarily meant to cause any harm or trouble, although the last big thing to worry about is the hiss that they'll make. Apart from playing dead, the opossum is also known for producing a loud hissing sound. Not exactly like a snake, but it still is helpful enough that it can scare off any potential predators. I feel like I could go on this for a long time, but I feel like we're going to have much more to talk about when it comes to all other animals. So, stick around for more, and I'll have many more coming soon.